world of hungry heat. Now, I am not a classically trained chef. What I am is a self-taught home cook. I have studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD from YouTube University and a black belt in Google Fu. I love to cook. The only thing I love more than cooking is my sensational wife, Shelly Eats Steak.
AKA the warden.
Right. Now, every Friday night, 6:30 Central, me and the little missus here, we go live for the Friday night feast. We'll cook up an entree, or maybe a couple of snacks, show you how to do it. Then we'll just sit around and enjoy the fruit of our labors with all of our friends we like to call the Hungry Horde. We hope y'all can join us sometime. But for today's episode, Shelly has an awesome idea for doing Mongolian beef. I'm gonna let her tell you all about it.
Yes. Shout out to a Hungry Horde member, Lisa Bell. She actually gave the recommendations. As y'all know, we're always asking for ideas of what we should make.
Yeah.
And so on Shelly's Asian tour, as we continue this, she suggested Mongolian beef. And I was like, yeah, that is a good dish that we would get sometimes. Not as popular, but I was like, I'm going to have to find a way to make that. So
yeah, because every other time we've always done pork or chicken.
I
Let's do
know.
some beef.
Now we got actual beef. So hopefully this will turn out just as good. And if you try it, definitely let us know. Make sure anytime you do try one of our recipes, tag Hungry Heat. If it's on Facebook, tag @HungryHeat. If it's on Instagram, it's @TheHungryHeat. So definitely tag us. I love to see everybody's recreations, and some of them they're honestly better than how ours turned out, and I love that even more.
I'm kind of jealous. That was my idea, and you made it look like 10 times better.
I know.
Way to go.
So for this recipe, we're gonna of course need some beef, and we got this fajita cut meat or stir-fry meat at HEB. It's not a regular skirt steak. I believe it's like sirloin that they cut into stir-fry size pieces.
I think it was 1.5 pounds.
Okay, awesome. And so this, I just got it marinated. You want to marinate it for about an hour. And it's just real simple marinade. I'll go over that in a minute. And then for our main sauce, the Mongolian, you're going to need some, of course, your soy alternative. We're doing coconut aminos, a little bit of brown sugar because it is a sweet dish, some garlic, ginger, red pepper flakes, and then we're going to use beef gelatin as our thickener. Now, if you like to use xanthan gum, definitely go ahead and do that. I really like the beef gelatin. It's trying to keep it a little more carnivore type, but use what you got, right? If you're used to xanthan gum, use it up, because it takes forever to get through those bags. And then we're also going to add, instead of just our beef, I know some people are probably freaking out going, what? Those are vegetables. Why do they have vegetables?
This is green stuff.
Yeah, why is there so much green? So, traditionally, Mongolian beef would have scallions in it, so went ahead, bought some scallions. We'll wash these up, trim them up, cut those up as a nice little finishing. And then we're also going to add our jalapenos, because we love a little more spice to things, and some mushrooms too, just to kind of bulk it up. And we're going to have Mongolian beef and put it in a bowl. So I think it'll turn out great. Let's get started on getting everything together. Got my sous chef over here slicing and dicing the mushrooms and all the vegetables. So to get started, how we did our marinade, I put, real simple, in a little baggie, I just went ahead and added a 1/4 cup of avocado oil, or any oil of your choice. Then I did 3 tablespoons of the coconut aminos. And then I did 2 tablespoons of lime juice and some salt. And just kind of mix that together. And then that's what the beef's been marinated in. It's just enough for this 1.5 pounds. You don't want too much, because it doesn't need to drown in it. And one thing is you don't want to leave it marinating for too long because there is lime juice in here, so it will start breaking down that. And I mean, you want that for the first hour, maybe 2 max, because the lime juice will help tenderize the steak so it'll be nice and soft. But if you cook it, if you leave it in here too long, it'll actually start cooking the beef, and we don't want cooked beef. So just put that aside. And then for our actual sauce, we're going to start off with a tablespoon of the brown sugar. Ooh, man, it still smells like brown sugar to me. So, nice, generous tablespoon there. Just kind of push that in here. Now I'm thinking about it, because this is almost 2 pounds. I think I'm going to double this. Sorry, y'all. So let me do 2 tablespoons of the sweetener. Well, I can get this out. Okay, there we go. I think that did it. All right. And of course, we're using the Swerve brown sugar alternative. Put that there. And then you're going to use equal amounts of the soy sauce alternative. So we're doing coconut aminos. It does taste like soy. So we're going to do again 2 tablespoons. You want this to be rather thick and kind of gummy because that's going to help really coat all of the meat when you go to cook it. Okay, put that back. That's going to be so good. And then some red pepper flakes to taste for the heat. Now since we're going to be adding jalapenos as well, I don't want to go overboard on the red pepper flakes. And then for the beef gelatin, we just want to kind of thicken this up, the sauce. So I'm going to do a teaspoon here, pour that in there. Oops. Will it land in there? Okay. So then I'm going to start stirring this together, and I'm going to allow this to kind of sit up and kind of all come together while I'm working on frying up the beef. So it is like a stir-fry meat, so you're thinking kind of hot and fast. So I've already got my skillet heated up, and what I'm going to plan to do is cook the meat real quick, not all the way through, right? Just kind of a flash fry, and then I'm going to pull it out, and then I'm going to put the sauce in with our garlic and ginger, let that cook for a minute, and then I'm going to add the meat back in along with our vegetables and let that all kind of simmer for a few minutes and kind of meld together. All right, y'all, so there's...
Oh, that smells good.
Yeah, it does. Let me take a little taste here. Oh, wow. One taste is really sweet.
It's good.
It's good, but it's sweet, y'all.
It's like candy.
Yeah. Woo. Okay. So we're just going to get that kind of all coming together, mellowing together while I go start on our meat. This is going to be a quick and easy dinner. I don't know if y'all can see it, but my skillet is definitely hot. I see the smoke coming out. So I'm just going to start getting this meat here and throwing it in that pan. Let's see here. Kind of start in the cooler section of the skillet. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Y'all, look at that. You just want to keep kind of stirring it so everything just starts cooking. And you're going to cook it about halfway. You don't want to overcook your meat. Oh yeah, that's coming together. So in this, with the lime juice, that helps tenderize it. And also the salt will help pull out any extra moisture that was in here. And then of course the soy alternative and the avocado oil help kind of flavor this meat. Give it a nice good base flavor. So I'm just going to keep this going probably, I bet, about 2, maybe 3 minutes of cooking this. Okay, it's been 3 minutes. As you can see, my beef looks pretty close to at least halfway done. So I'm just going to pull it out. I'm actually just putting it in the skillet next to this one. And I just have that skillet on the very lowest setting just to kind of keep it warm. You don't have to do that. But you look at all of that juice, right? So I'm going to turn up the heat on this big skillet so I can get some of that juice to render down. And then we'll start adding everything else in as well. Yeah, that's going to be so good. It smells so good in here. The Asian food always has some of the best scents when it comes to cooking their food. I just love the way they smell. Alright, y'all. It's been about 5 minutes, and you can see this pretty much cooked down a lot. Got all those nice sweet juices now that it's really gone down in the level there. I would say just get it down to about half. Now we're going to do our garlic. And I'm just using this minced garlic. We're going to do a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. Well, you could do a tablespoon if you're crazy about garlic. Okay. And I'm just putting it on the cooler side of my skillet because I don't want it to overcook. And then I also got, look at this, they have chopped ginger. And the same thing, a teaspoon on that. Put that down there. And then we have to work quickly. I'm just going to stir fry this real quick, maybe 30 seconds. You just want to, as soon as you start smelling the garlic and the ginger, then you know it's cooked. You don't want to overcook it because burnt garlic is not good. I don't know if anybody's accidentally burned garlic. No, you don't want that. Yeah, that smells really good. Great aromas going on. Just keep stirring that. And I've turned my temperature down. And then here's my sauce. You can see the beef gelatin really thickened this up. Just perfect. Just going to add that in here. Oops. A little bit dropped on the side there. I don't want to waste any of this. I feel like it's like gold in my bowl. I don't want to lose any of it. Just kind of quickly try to get this out. Okay. Oh, wow. It's really smelling so good, y'all. And then I'm just going to stir that over. And turn my heat down a little more. And then I'm going to make room for all of my meat. And add that back to the pan here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really good. In fact, I'm just going to go through here. There's a little bit of still wonderful beef juice in my pan. I'm just going to empty that in there. Don't want to waste any of my little juices here. And I stir that in there. Gotta get some off with my spoon. Oh, this smells so good. And then you just want to work quickly. Try to coat all of your meat in that sauce. And that's what gives it that traditional kind of a dark mahogany glaze. Now, typically a Mongolian beef, you would put some type of flour on the meat because you want to like thicken it up. But that's why I chose the beef gelatin, because that's what is going to make this sauce real thick and creamy. Oh, look at that. Already coating that meat, y'all. This is good. Oh yeah, that's going to be perfect. I just want to make sure all of the meat gets really good and coated. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it smells so good. And then I'm going to start adding in the mushrooms. So I'm just kind of putting the beef off to the side. Oh, yeah. Making room for my mushrooms. And then I'll do the jalapenos. Oh, we did get ended up with a lot of mushrooms. But you know, mushrooms, they cook down a lot. And then my jalapenos. And we just slice those up. Alright. I'm just going to stir this all in. Mix it all together. Just kind of let it cook probably about 3 minutes or so. Just till my mushrooms are looking cooked. Nice and wilted. Oh yeah, get that sauce on everything, and then that'll give it time for the sauce to thicken up some more, and this is going to be incredible. Another fantastic Asian meal. Alright, I'm going to leave this on here and just stir it occasionally for the next 3 to 5 minutes. Hey y'all, it's been a couple minutes. I already see that my mushrooms are softened. I'm going to go ahead and add the kind of the white parts of the scallions. I'm going to save the bright green parts just for topping. And this was a total of 3 scallions. I know, I can't remember the last time I've had scallions, but I was like, well, it's been a while. Let's see how we do with a little bit of scallions in our life. I'm just going to stir that in here and just do that like the last minute of the cook. Look how nice and deep brown it is. That beautiful mahogany. Oh, wow. That meat just soaked up that delicious sauce and really took on that color perfectly. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Oh, yeah. So we got a minute left, and then what I'm going to do is plate it up and then show you what it looks like all plated.
Yeah. That is amazing. You definitely tell it's beef.
Mm-hmm.
The flavors are just so intense.
Mm-hmm. So what do you taste them?
I don't know how to describe it, but it's just amazingly good. It's very tender, almost unctuous, like succulent.
Okay.
That marinade you put on it just did the trick.
Yeah, definitely helped tenderize the meat.
But it's not quite spicy enough. So I'm gonna add some of the sambal to mine. I was gonna do some sriracha, but I forgot it at the house.
What I like, you definitely get the aroma of the garlic. You get that little bit of ginger kind of twang to it.
Good job.
The sweetness, of course, of that swerve brown sugar is really sweet to me. But it's really good. I like the jalapeno, adds a little bit of kick to it. You get a little bit with the red pepper flakes, not a whole lot. The onions definitely give it a little sharp note to it. But this beef, I mean, it just like soaked up that it didn't look like much, y'all. Well, I was kind of like, oh, is that going to be enough to coat all of it? But it was like the perfect amount.
Maybe we should add a little bit more jalapeno. I just now found my first bite. That's amazing. I love it when a plan comes together. Another winner, baby. Another winner.
Wow. I definitely feel like it takes me back to eating like Chinese food, right? You really get that. A lot of Asian food, Chinese food will have a really sweet undertone. It's definitely got that. So if you're not used to sweetness, maybe cut it back just a little bit. But it's really good. Perfect. I think the color turned out exactly what you want. And of course, it's going to have that good saltiness because of all of the soy that you use and marinating it in the soy and the salt. You know, soy alternative. But, I mean, this is a great weeknight dinner. Took me, if you don't count in the meat marinated for an hour, less than an hour to cook all of this.
When I threw the meat in the marinade, I did about a half hour before we left to come over here. So there's really nothing really to waiting on it.
Yeah, for us. But if you're cooking it at home, you know, I hate when you're like, oh, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? I'm so hungry, right? But I'm really happy with how this turned out.
I am too.
Now we have our beef Asian dish. We've got a pork one. Of course, we've got tons of Chinese ones. I mean, chicken ones. But definitely keep it coming. Thank you again, Lisa Bell, for the suggestion.
Great idea. Thank you so much.
Y'all giving us suggestion really helps us because sometimes I find we kind of get in the routine of we cook all the time just the same type of food or the same food we really like tacos or pizza. So when you give a suggestion, it really kind of gets me excited because I'm like, oh, that's something else I could try.
I wonder how this would be with a fried egg on top. You think that would play well? I mean, we don't have any eggs left. We finished those yesterday, but...
But yeah, y'all, this is perfect. Thank you again. Leave us a comment. Tell us what's another dish you want to see us come up with.
Come with it. Help us. But also, don't forget, every Friday, 6:30 Central, me and the All-Star here will go live for the Friday Night Feast. Teach you how to make something like this, and just sit around and just chew the fat with all of our friends we like to call the Hungry Horde. Thank y'all for watching. Let me get back to chowing down.
Bye.